All right, we are on YouTube now.
Yay.
And
Hi, Nicole.
how's everyone doing? Is it this one? Let's find out. It's going to be loud.
The intro video.
Yeah. Which one is it? No, not that one. Oops. Welcome, everybody. We're just getting started here. Let me see.
There's one above that one or two above that one.
Yeah, it might be one of these. Let's see. I should label these better. I thought I did have them labeled.
Well, the one is labeled. Yeah, the English Q&A one. Good morning, Bellin. Good morning, Hedisa.
Here it is. Yeah, this one.
Nice.
Okay, so... Hello, Bellin. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Let's go through the roll call. Hello, Bellin. Hello, Mia. Hello, Vincent. Hello, Bellin. Hello, Mia. Hello, Vincent. Hello, Luna.
Hello, Casey. Hello, Liana.
Sky and Peyton, Kathy, Nicole, Wilmer, Hadisa. Yeah, that almost worked out. All right, let's see if I can make a share screen without screwing things up. Whoops, wrong one. Tell me if this plays right or not, if it sounds okay and plays okay. Can you hear the doubling?
No, I don't think... Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now I can.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But I think that's just in our ears.
Right. I think you're right.
I think
Because
they're
we're
okay.
hearing this side, yeah.
Right.
And they're not hearing that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like delayed.
Yeah. Yeah. It almost sounds like an effect.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It does. Yeah. Although I need to change my voice room schedule because I haven't been here all week.
Right.
All right. So there we go.
I like the dancing emojis.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, everybody. So we're here to talk with people. We have we can answer your questions if you have questions about English. If you just want to practice speaking, today is the day. I would prefer if you have questions, but or at least if you want to come talk to me, then you have to have some kind of a topic. Let's just
Yeah.
like that. That's a basic point of if you want to raise your hand and come on stage, you either have to have a question or a
Basically, you need something to talk about.
something to talk about, right? So if you want to talk about sports or food or culture or travel, great. If you want to ask me about politics or anything like that, no, that's a no-go. Okay, but if you have a question about English or if you have a topic that you want to talk about, then you can raise your hand and come talk to us. Okay? So Edwin wants to come talk with us.
Edwin.
Hello?
Hello, Edwin.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Michael. Hello, glad to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. How are you today?
And, yeah, not bad.
Good.
Not bad.
Okay, and it's 9:41 p.m. there in China. What city are you in, Edwin? Are you in Beijing or where are you?
I'm in Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. Okay.
Shenzhen.
Okay. All right. And
Yes.
do you have a
the same time is Beijing? The same time in Beijing.
yeah? Do you have a question for us or a topic you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your question?
Sorry, where are you living now?
We live
where are you
in
now?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep.
Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in the middle of the United States. 这是俄亥俄州，你知道吗？俄亥俄州。
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ohio, yes. Ohio.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's where we
Good
are
place.
right now.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the economic or the politics, the recently 2024.
Okay.
Or in the 5 years or 10 years in the futures, or the yes, for example, in the 2 or 3 or 5 years futures, I want to know how is the business going, and how is the economic history.
Well, I think honestly, I think that 5-year models are almost not even valuable anymore.
Right. Things change so quickly these days. Yeah.
Right. So we used to have a 5-year model that we used where people would say, where do you imagine life being in 5 years? Or where do you imagine yourself being in 5 years? But the truth is that we are at a stage of technology right now where there are some kinds of technology that are advancing so quickly that there is no good way to predict the next 5 years. Between AI and quantum computing and robotics and those three things coming together, the world is going to change a lot very quickly. AI in particular is affecting technology on a speed that we've never, ever encountered before. We always used to have to wait a few years for things to get better. Now it's more like a few months.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing I would tell you is whatever prediction you might make for 5 years from now has almost no real validity because there are too many factors that could change too much in a short period of time. Right.
And
yeah.
I would say,
yes, it's a long time.
yeah, and even
Maybe
in
1 year, 2 years.
yeah, 1
It's,
year, 2 years, I think is easier because even
That's
in the
much better,
past, I think
right.
it was tough to project 5 years.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
agree with
For
that.
example-
Yeah. But I think that there was a point in time when technology moved slowly
Oh, yeah,
enough
much
that
more
there
slowly
was
than today.
there was a certain amount of guesswork you could do that was valuable.
Right.
But now I feel like
A lot of it's
there
out
are
the window,
too
yeah.
many things that are improving or changing too dramatically
Yeah.
you know, I mean, let's think about computers the way that they used to be and what they are now,
Yeah.
and your phone, and I mean, phones are a good example of that. How, phones used to be, when I was a boy, a cell phone was this big, huge brick, and it could only make phone calls, and that's all it could do, and it was really expensive. And now we have them down to these tiny little, blocks
Computers.
they're computers in your pocket. Yeah. So, and again, even that is changing. In 5 years, what is a cell phone going to look like?
Right, the glasses,
we don't even
maybe?
know. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So I think a 1 or 2 year model is a little bit better for predicting things right now, but I still think we're living in a very, very unpredictable time because of the amount of technological advancement happening rapidly. An understatement of rapid. Yeah.
Yes, it means the world is changing too fast. Yes, and
Yeah.
the technical and the economicals, yes, too much.
Yeah.
You just said that the cell phones in the past the cell phones is not too much of the things, and now
Right.
the most of things is on the cell phones.
Right.
Most of things is instead of the computers. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I use my cell phone much more than I use my computer.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I still use my computer quite a bit, but I also, I definitely use my phone more than I do my computer.
Yeah, and even the integration of devices is also something that's really advancing. So yeah, it's an interesting question, but it's a good one because I think that it's a fun time to live in because, to be honest with you, it used to be that you could plan for something and try to make a bet, but right now we're living in such an unpredictable time that even if you're really rich right now, I don't think there's a guarantee you will be in 5 years.
I like a mystery.
Yeah, right. Like I have nothing to lose.
What are you gonna take from me? Good luck.
Right, yeah. That's the one thing about being, at the bottom of the totem pole. It's, nothing really affects you.
Getting blood from a stone, as they say.
Right, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
want to ask questions. One, like you said, many of the factors. For example, one of the factors is your country's president. The new president will be to try again. Yes, maybe in this year, 2024. And which one may be to success to be the president, and how it can to
So,
affect the
Edwin,
economic-
that gets too far into politics. We can't talk about politics on Hello Talk. So I'm not going to endorse a particular candidate or not. If you've been watching me or if you know me, then you know who I'm voting for. But we can't talk about stuff quite that political here, Edwin.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I think
there'll be
yes,
too many
because
people who have
in
too
our
many
opinion-
strong opinions.
okay.
Yeah.
Because many of the news of the social medias talk about that the economic is also the big factors is because the president of the factors. And
But
also
the economics that are affecting the world right now have really almost nothing to do with politics and everything to do with class warfare. So it's not which political party is ruling things. It's who has the money and who has the power. That's what matters.
Capital overall.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, anyway, politics are all run generally by the people with money,
Yes.
whatever country you're in. So,
is a key factor.
yeah, it's a key factor, right? Yeah, whoever's got the money, they're the
That's
ones
a
who are
good
running the
effect.
show.
That's a good opinions, and yes, because the recently our country, the industries, many of the factories, they have the lease order, they have declines the order and the overcomes. The business is decreased a lot. So we care about that, all the economic to develop and to coming. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
lots
So,
of the people
like
lose
I
their
said,
job.
I think there will be many, many, many people who are going to be losing jobs in the next 5 years. And so, because of that, I think that that's going to change the marketplace of the world dramatically in the next 5 years. So, there are lots of people who will just lose their jobs. Like computer coding is going to be a job that I don't even know how you can want to study that right now.
Right.
Because to be honest with you, like, you know, if you're doing coding, you've picked an industry that's almost dead at this point, you know, because AI will do that very well, much better than humans can for the most part. So, yeah, I think that there will be a lot of people who are going to lose jobs, and the economies are going to change a lot because of that. We may have to start talking about universal income, UI, you know, which means they have to give people some money to survive, because there's not enough jobs. And that's been kind of inevitably on the horizon
yeah.
forever, you know.
The
But I think we're
accumulation of wealth,
really, you know, I think in my childhood when I was young, I don't think I ever imagined that would actually happen in my lifetime. But at this point, I kind of think it will. At some point within my lifetime, they will have to try to do some sort of universal income, because there will just not be enough jobs that pay enough money for people to survive. So, yeah. Bellin says, imagine going to a doctor. Actually, Bellin, that's one that I'm looking forward to. I'm kind of looking forward to, like, I'm not a big fan of American doctors, so I would prefer to go to an AI doctor who, you know, you just plug into a machine and they take a little blood from you and run a scan on you, and they can see everything immediately, and they know every single journal from every medical book from every, you know, to be honest, American medical system, every time I go to the doctor, I almost always feel like I'm being rushed out.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't instill confidence.
Right.
The American,
right. So for me, I kind of would be looking forward to going to a model where I don't feel like I'm being rushed out.
Well, it'll still rush you out. Because they're profit motivated.
But you'll get a lot more information.
That's true. Yeah, they just give you a nice big printout and you just leave.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think AI is going to affect every industry for the most part. It already is. So
You mean the AI in your countries or in your cities is so popular? Yes.
AI is popular all over the world right now, I think. And like I said, every day there are new apps to do different things with AI, and it's becoming more and more capable. So it's whatever industry that you're in, they're trying to find out how to use AI to make it better. Right. So in baseball, I'm sure that they have people doing statistics in
100%.
baseball.
They've probably been doing that since before AI was even most of a thing. Sabermetrics.
For music, you know, they're going to be using AI to help edit songs in the studio or to help create and write music. They already have apps that do that. In teaching, you know, AI can be a teacher. You know, is it a good replacement for a real teacher? No, but it's a good tool.
Yeah.
You know, so every industry, the engineering, it'll help to, you know, make more accurate plans and discuss possible problems that could arise, you know, hypothetical situations to work through.
City planning.
You know, city planning. Yeah, you name it. Whatever industry you're in, I can't really think of an industry that won't be affected by AI.
Yeah, I mean, Bellin mentioned like serving, so there are some jobs like
yeah,
that.
but look at
those
McDonald's.
those industries will
right.
still be affected. Well, yeah, but I mean, I think she's
have
more talking about like sit down restaurants.
Right,
you
but
know.
how long before we have robots who take
Maybe
our orders?
It could be not long.
Not long, I don't think.
Yeah, because they can move around pretty nimbly.
In Korea, they already do
Yeah.
have some robotic restaurants that do everything. You
Yeah.
just order on a button and tell it what you want, and then the robots make everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
for me, I'd like to the service, human service. I
right,
think the human
right,
service have the emotion,
yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree,
I agree.
and
and
but
he can understand what I mean.
yes,
Yes.
but again, in 10 or 15 years, they might have robots that look like humans, that can smile like humans, and that can show emotions like humans, and maybe better than humans.
Yeah, well, we'll put them to work either way.
So, yeah, I don't think it's that crazy to imagine 15, 20 years from now, restaurants with AI servers. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I agree with you. I think that there are certain industries where people might be better because there's a certain human connection that's needed. But
Yeah.
but I know that even if you think that it's better to have a human, there will be some restaurants that choose to do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Right,
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for example, like the agricultures.
Agriculture?
Yeah, sorry,
Agriculture.
Like
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like our life food. I think
Right.
the AI is not to join a lot in that industry.
Well, it actually has been.
could use-
You're using.
the
They're
whole
using it right
machines
now. Yeah. So
Wow,
they
yeah.
have machines now that there's like a laser computer that scans over the plants and can kill all the bugs or anything like that, and also analyze what the plant needs and give it water or nutrients as it's needed. So they do have that for farming already, for agricultural industry. The problem is right now we have technologies that could change all of these industries, but they're just not financially viable right now.
Right.
So there is a farm who has that all this technology to do all the farming with technology, with robots and everything, but I'm sure that it's just an experiment right now, that
Right.
it's not like financially viable yet because it's too expensive to use. But like I said, even farming,
Yes.
at some point in time, they'll
Yeah.
have robots that will pick everything much faster, more efficiently, and better than we
I'm
do.
sure it would be just a giant machine that would ride over it. And
Right,
just pull it,
exactly, right. Which they already have. Like
Yeah,
you said.
they have ones that can be driven and ones
Right.
that are automatic. But
Right.
Yeah,
So
they have-
once they start adding AI to
Yeah.
the scanners and things like that, and they use AI in the food industry, when they have food coming down the conveyor belts, it will scan for quality control, and it has robotic arms to remove anything that's not
Oh yeah, there's the one little tomato thing, and so it pours the
Right.
tomatoes and it kicks out the green tomatoes.
right.
It's got little legs like this, and it kicks out
that's
all
AI.
the. Yeah,
That's AI. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I can't think of any industry that's not going to be affected. I mean, movies in Hollywood, they're worried about it too.
Right.
Them
They've been
using-
writing formulaic stuff for years now, though. so
I know,
they're-
right? Like I'm almost
what's the
looking forward
difference?
to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Most of the industry to release on the AI. And like you said, the industry is based on, but the AI is based on the base industry. So yes, it's the industry of agriculture. But I think like you said, the agriculture, like the farmer, yes, this position, this the position, this job. The farmers, the one factors is the farmer's knowledge is not too much, yeah, and I think that people is not easy to use the AI.
Right.
and not
Well,
to
that
understand too
depends.
That'll change too.
Edwin,
you know?
in America, we don't have too many small farms anymore. Almost all of our small farms are owned by big companies. So all of our small farms, they have a contract with a big company to produce what that company wants. So there are not many small farms that make food for just a small amount of people. Almost all the farms, all of the corn from that farm and from that farm and from that farm, they're all going to the same company. So you're right that the small farmer definitely cannot afford this equipment.
Or even operate, probably.
Or even operate, maybe.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, these big farms that are
Yeah.
corporate farms, they absolutely can, you know? Yeah.
maybe in different places, the farmer and the companies have different equipment, yes, equipment and the
Right,
knowledge
yeah.
and the skills.
That's right.
Like our countries and like the south of the countries, like the Africa or the
Let's
southeast. Yes.
let's remember that agriculture actually was one of the biggest drivers of technology in the 19th century, right? So because we needed to produce food, so making new machines to do it that were better than humans
Yeah.
on several levels, not only did it get rid of slave labor, you know, or lessen the need for it, but it also increased
Boosted
our
the
productivity
population,
and
yeah.
population and everything. So again, agriculture seems like an area that AI would not be that useful in, but when it comes to trying to think about, you know, humans became humans because of agrarian society, right? So once we were able to sit down and start growing our own food, we became a much more productive society in many, many ways. So the same thing, every time there's a jump in productivity of food production, it sets up the culture for a new level of advancement. So somebody was asking, Hero was asking, well, if humans are not good for work, then what did Hero say? Let's see, where was it? If humans are inferior to robots, what's the point of working as a human? Well, I mean, what is the point of working? Like, you know, let's think about that.
We got to have some sort of end game here.
Right, but work is always for the purpose of some product or service, right? So that is a philosophical question, is if we can produce that product or service without the need of effort from human beings, then what do we do? And yeah, Hero, I am a dreamer. I would love a society in 100 years where we don't work.
Fully automated.
Yeah, man.
Luxury.
Like, I don't want to work at all. Not the way that we do right now. I want to work because I love what I do, not work because I have to pay for my bills.
Right.
That's
Get
a big
more
difference.
creativity, I think,
So-
in societies where people.
If we had AI running everything right now, would I still be teaching? I would, I think. I still
Yeah.
think I would. Even though, would I still be playing music? Yeah, I would. So I think I would just do it with more freedom
Right.
and less stress. So, yeah, I mean, I think work is only valuable if you find value in it. And if you don't, then why are you doing it? And when you think about it, how many people, I can't remember the quote, but there's a quote, something about like, when I see the works of Van Gogh or whatever, I think about how many people are stuck in a field. There's some quote like that where it's like, it's basically like when I think about how, you know, this is Van Gogh and how talented he is and what he was able to do. But then there's somebody working in a field who could be just as talented,
Right.
but we'll never know because they're working in a field.
Yeah.
So I would love to reach a point where society doesn't rely on the idea of working to live so that we can focus on becoming better human beings, learning more, and producing things that are of more artistic value rather than
Material.
economic
Yeah.
and material value. Right. Yeah. Sarah says it will always lack emotion, not be authentic. We'll see, Sarah. We'll see. I don't know. To be honest with you. I think
Right now, I agree with some of that.
I agree with
criticism,
the
but not all
general
the way.
idea,
Yeah.
but I think that it's possible in 15
I do
years
too.
that it will be really hard to tell, I think, in some cases. And Sarah, here's what I would remind you of is it's kind of like when people tell me they want to speak like a native speaker, and I remind them that not all native speakers speak well. So will AI be more authentic than a human being? Not all of them, but maybe some of them.
Right. Yeah. Depends
You know?
depends on the person you're
Like,
comparing it to. Yeah.
Yeah, like it could be that, if I have a choice of hanging out with this AI robot or this guy who's not really that great,
Yeah.
I think I might hang out with the AI guy, So, like I said, not every human has a great personality,
Right.
So I can imagine wanting to hang out with an AI personality versus that guy.
Yeah.
So,
In that case, you just said that you imagine in that case, what do you think the human beings will be to going and like his job or his what the human beings are going to do in the future
I'll be fishing.
when the AI
I hope we spend more time focusing on human development of mental development, spiritual development, personal development. There are many people who have not had an opportunity to learn. There are many, many people. I think my ultimate goal with AI would be to reach a point where nobody needs to work and everybody gets to study.
Yeah.
That would be what I want, is I want every human on this earth to get an opportunity to learn anything they want to learn without
Having their
money.
basic needs taken care of.
Having their
You
basic
know.
needs taken care of, and then having an ability to study anytime
Yeah.
you want and learn anytime you want.
Have mobility within
That's right.
knowledge and society.
That's right. So I
as
don't
well
care.
as that. I agree with that 100%.
I don't care if you're, a 9-year-old boy from, Sudan, or you're from, Dresden, Germany. I want everybody to have an opportunity to learn and grow and find your passions in life and pursue them. That's what I think would be human fulfillment.
that means the most of the humans is to study and learn the technique and the knowledges and
Yeah.
if the humans do that many of the things, how do you think if they have the strength for their brains, they have too much to learn, and what do you think? How do you think is a strength for their brains?
No,
Yes,
I don't
very
think that there's any stress in learning, because learning is not stressful if it's done right.
Yeah, I think in the context that you're sort of talking about here, that there wouldn't be nearly as much of the stress and the need to learn these things or else
When
thing.
we learn right now, we always learn in school, and school in America, school costs a lot of money, so that means you have to put pressure on yourself to learn within a short period of time. But ultimately, if we didn't have a need for a time limit, then you can learn physics at your speed. And when you get there, you get there. And it's not a matter of pressure. So learning shouldn't feel like you're studying for a test all the time. Learning should just feel like you're growing all the time, right? So...
Yeah.
So I don't think that learning is stressful. I don't think learning causes stress, or I think it shouldn't.
Yeah, there's contexts that create stress around learning.
Right, yeah. And what I'm saying is even AI, I think, will eventually get better at, like, for example, we were just talking about Clay takes a statistics class right now, and I hate statistics. It's
Yeah.
so boring and dry.
It is.
But I do think that that's a perfect example of how some AI models could could, if you had an AI statistics teacher and you could talk with them and they knew how boring it was and could do everything they can to try to
Yeah.
make it interesting and understandable, then that would help you to be able to learn such a difficult subject without so much stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. If the task is not too much, and it's not too
Right.
not too stressful.
Learning is going to change completely too, I think, in the next 50 years. Learning should be changing a lot. The truth is, our education system has not changed very much at all in the past 100 years.
No, not at all.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, big
That's
time.
a big, big problem.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really changed is there's bigger class sizes, so you get a less quality education because
Right,
of that. That's
right.
and it's still the same rigid testing.
Yeah.
If we learn the AI, if we learn the AI, the time is not too long, and it'll be okay. It'll be good.
Right.
But for example, like our school, like our primary school, our middle school, our university schools, the students learning and study is too long, like about 10 hours or more than 10 hours. So the students thinks it's to be hard. Yes.
Yeah,
And,
but you know, when I
learning-
was 18 years old, I used to practice drums like 8 hours every day, and I loved it. I didn't hate it. I loved it. That was what I loved doing. So, I think learning, you can learn for 8 hours or 10 hours every day, and it can be fun and not feel like it's a pressure. It can be more like a hobby. You know, so because it's all about taking away the tests. Tests are the reasons why we worry about school, you know, but I think AI will start to be able to understand your real value, your real understanding of knowledge.
Yeah.
If it can talk with you over a period of time, it can really assess whether you know these subjects or these ideas at all. A test only gives you one question, and you have to answer that one question at that moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
to
yeah, and
see
at
if
that time, you
that's
know?
right. If you understand
Yeah.
it. But if you have an AI teacher and you're talking to that AI teacher every day, the AI teacher will know based on your questions and your answers whether you really understand the material or not.
Right.
That's a whole nother level of learning.
Yeah.
Because testing,
you need to
testing,
understand.
yeah, testing is
Easy
just.
to-
Go ahead, Edwin.
and I'm thinking about the other things, like we use a lot of the AS, and I think we maybe have the least time to do sports, to do exercise, and like we say many of the things to the electronics, yes, like the watch the movies, like the videos. I think there may be some the bad for our body, for our health.
Well, but again,
AI give you
Edwin-
more time.
Yeah, but Edwin, on the other hand, I just read about some people who are using AI as their workout partner. So they're using an AI friend as their workout partner who every day they know what routine they need to do and they talk about what to eat. And so I think that even in that case, AI could be a benefit to some people for their health because it can help you know, what did you eat? What did you do today? It can keep track of how many steps you
Yeah.
had, and
In the end, it's a tool.
exactly
it is
right.
a tool.
Yeah, in the end, it's a tool, and however you use it is going to determine its value.
Yes.
You know, so if I give a baby a hammer, a baby could destroy my room. But if I give that same hammer to a carpenter, he can make a beautiful bookcase for me. You know, so
Yeah, I agree with you that. Yeah, I agree with you that the AI can easy to arrange our the times and our schedules.
right,
I just miss the problem is the AI is to spend our much time in that to the electric the part. You just said many of the AI teachers and like the play games. Yes, like the entertainment games, and the other many of the things is in AI is in like the cell phones or the many of the electric the parts, the equipment, yes. So that I think we spend most of times in that the electronic the parts.
Yeah, we are spending more and more time with electronics and technology, and that can be a bad thing. That's true. But I think that
Yes, I mean,
it will. I think
I
it
mean
will
that,
adapt.
yeah, I mean that times we maybe have the least time to do the sports like play the basketball or like to swing or like to go mountain. Yeah, and
Now, I think that we'll probably have more
I,
time to do
yeah, I
those
mean,
things.
I play basketball today, with my friends, and I'm getting older now too, but I still find some time to play anyway.
I think that AI should give us more time to play, less time to work, more time to study, less time to work, more time to focus on the things that we want to do. That's what I hope it will do. Because really, work is such a mundane thing. The idea of work, it's such a mundane thing. I mean, even if you love your work, I think the purpose behind why you do your work is really important.
Big time.
A doctor who loves helping sick people is still going to be a doctor, but a doctor who just does it for the money will be out of a job. You know what I mean?
He'll be a pharmaceutical rep.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, hopefully, I think we'll have more time to focus on things like that. But, Edwin, Clay and I were just talking about this before I started today, how every industry is starting to use AI. And if you're not trying to figure out how to use AI to help you personally right now, I think that's a mistake. I think AI is one of the biggest technologies to come out in my lifetime. And if you want to ignore it, you can. But if you start trying to learn about it, it might actually benefit you tremendously. And in a way that you really, the amount of change, like I said, I feel like we're reaching a point now where the concept of change is a much bigger word than it used to be. So, get a good AI app and start using it and start being creative and thinking about how you can use it to help you with your work, help you with your play, help you with your life, your health, your nutrition, your mental health, everything.
Yes. AI in a ways is the most convenience in life and can to give us the efficiency in the work and the lives. Yes.
Hopefully.
The most of the opinions you are talk, I'm to agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it will. I think that just like any other technology, every good technology comes with a bad side.
Well, and there's an opening for bad actors too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad things that could happen with AI too. That will happen. Lots of fake videos and fake disinformation, misinformation that will be incapable of being able to distinguish what's real and what's not real anymore. So that's, AI has a good side and a bad side. Every technology has a light side and a dark side. Who was the guy who invented dynamite?
I don't know, but
there's a story about the guy who invented dynamite and Oppenheimer himself, who created the atom bomb.
Regretted it.
Right. Yeah. Inventor.
How do you think the traveling? Do you like traveling?
Do I like traveling? I love traveling. Yeah. Alfred Nobel.
Oh, hey,
As
okay,
in
yeah.
Nobel,
Yes,
yeah.
right. That's right. That's why I
Yeah.
knew. I was like, there's something about that.
How many places have you ever to been?
I've been to Canada, the Bahamas, Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, and Hong Kong.
And I've been to,
Cool.
yeah,
Many of the places.
I've been to China, and I've been to England and Scotland, and then I've been to lots of places in the U.S. But yeah, those are the places that I've visited.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
great.
Because
Yeah,
you
we've
have
both
the-
been many places in
Yeah.
the U.S.
benefit.
Yeah.
Your culture and the Europe and the American have the good benefits in your life. You have the much more of the time, like the summer holidays or the winter holidays. Lots of the holidays.
That's true compared
Well,
to China.
Yeah,
Compared to
well, when I
China.
worked in the casinos, I didn't get any holidays. It depends on your job.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
but in general, like definitely, I mean, there's no doubt that Chinese people work more than
Oh,
we
yeah.
do.
Oh, way
you know,
more.
a lot more
Yeah.
than we do. Yeah, like when they have a holiday, it's not a holiday. You know,
Right.
like in schools there, if you didn't know that, like if they take a Friday off for some kind of a holiday, the following Saturday you have to come in to teach.
Yeah.
So there are no days
Right.
off.
They're
You just make it
pushed
up.
back.
You make
Yeah.
it up another day on a weekend or something. Yeah, when I first heard that, I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Then that's not
Yeah.
a day off
No,
at all.
yeah, it's
now
just
you're just making me
moving
come
the
in on the
schedule
weekend.
around.
Yeah. So
Maybe
go
on
ahead.
the non holiday, maybe in our life, the non holiday is in our schools, in our studies. The holiday is maybe a little long. When we have to get work, the holidays is too short.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Every week we need 1 or 2 is 1 days to relax. But in the good companies, maybe the 2 days. And most of like the foreign companies, the foreign and our domestic the combat companies, the benefit of the holidays maybe a little long. And in our domestic the companies, the holidays too short. So I have a
Yeah.
lot of the work to do.
That's true.
I've changed the several companies. I've changed about 5 companies, and the big companies and the mid companies, the benefit and the vacations is longer. That and there are many of the activities like to go the party and to do the activities to play with our teamworks, our colleagues, and do of the sports like my last the company's private company. We also every day we do the basketball and do some the sometimes we go to swim and go to mountain. Yeah.
Well, that sounds
I
good.
Yeah.
also
That sounds good,
weekend
Edwin.
with my children.
That sounds good. Yeah.
But now the time is little time to play games with my colleague, with my children's.
Well, and like
Maybe
think
the-
about that. That's another thing that I hope will make AI that how AI will make the world a better place. Because again, yeah, if we don't have to work, then that means you actually have 2 parents.
Yeah.
Who get to help you and raise you as a child. That's a parent's duty should be to raise their children more than anything else. And right now, we have a society where your duty as a parent is to provide for your child. So your focus is not on if your child is getting enough attention. Your focus is on is your child clothed, fed,
Right.
and provided for their education
Yeah.
or whatever. But if we can take away those things and let parents just focus on, hey, how are you? You know, that could be
Yeah.
huge, you know. And then for parents who have a difficult time parenting is a funny thing because you need a license to go fishing, you need a license
Yeah.
to go hunting, you need a license to drive a car,
Yeah.
but anybody can have a baby
Yeah.
and nobody knows what they're doing. So again, you know, when Dr. Spock came out with his first book about, you know, having a baby and whatever, that was a huge thing. Imagine having an AI tool that can help you know what
Right.
colic is and
Yeah.
and how to keep your baby sleeping
Yeah.
and you know all those things that you know teething and all these things that they could help you know about that you don't know about now.
Right.
You know, so another way that I guess I'm trying to be positive, you know,
Yeah.
instead of all the doom and gloom
Right.
like AI usually is.
Right.
But Edwin, I'm going to let you go because we've been talking for a long time. I don't want to get one more person up on stage to talk with today. But your English is really great, Edwin, and you had some great questions. So thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Yeah, I think my English is have to practice a lot and to enhance to improve my vocabulary and the words. Yes,
You're doing
because
well.
I'm talking to you.
You're doing
Many of
well.
the words I don't remember and don't how to express. But yes, but I'm listening to your speakings. You are so friendly and yes, most of things I can to understand. But
Good.
when I to talk to you, I want to express my opinions or the keywords. Some of the words I can't remember that.
Sure.
So
Well,
it's
that's normal. You just
Yeah,
need more
very bad.
practice. More practice. 手能生巧.
Yeah, yeah, I think your Chinese is very good.
No, it's okay at best.
You can say many of the Chinese words.
All right. Well, thank you, Edwin, for coming, and I'll see you next time, okay?
Nice to meet you, Edwin.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you. Take care, my friend. Bye bye.
Take care.
Let's get
Bye.
one more person on stage before you have to go.
Yeah.
Or let's get a couple people on stage. Let's get Vic and Elidie and Sahara. Hello, Elidie. How are you?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. You before, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember.
I remember you. Yeah. And hello, Sahara. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm great. How about you?
I'm pretty good. Welcome. And so, Elidie, I can't remember. Are you in Marrakesh or Casablanca?
No, I'm in Casablanca.
Casablanca. Okay. And Sahara, where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm living in Beijing now.
In Beijing.
I
Okay.
come from China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sahara. That's a pretty name.
Yeah,
I
it
like
is.
that name. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like the desert.
Yeah, that's right.
Not far from where Elodie is.
That's right. Yeah. So let's see. Let's start with Sahara. Ladies first. Do you have a question for us, Sahara, or something you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have a question, that, I'm learning English now, but sometimes maybe I heard some teacher that told us, we should get some input and we should try our best to output. But you know that I'm an introverted person, and sometimes I don't want to. Maybe I'm not in a good good mood that I don't want to say anything. I feel sometimes I feel very maybe very upset. So what can I do in this situation?
Well,
Wow.
我常常感觉一样的。我常常感觉一样的。I often feel the same way.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
sometimes you have to speak. Communication requires interaction. So
Yeah.
if you're an introverted person, I understand, but communication is communication. You have to have two people for communication to happen. So there are some times when you're not in a good mood and you have to pretend to be like you're in a good mood,
Yeah.
And Sahara, that's what we say in English. We say fake it till you make it, which means pretend to be happy. And if you pretend to be happy every day, then eventually you're not pretending anymore. You're just happy. Right? So
Yeah.
pretend that you're not an introvert. Pretend that you're an extrovert. And the more you pretend, eventually you'll be okay. Hello, Vic.
Hey, Vic.
Hi. Haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
little while. Yeah, good to see you again. Yeah. So, Sahara, what I would tell you is just you need to practice more. But, Sahara, you can practice a lot by yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to practice in your mind every day. Okay? If you practice English in your mind every day, then when you speak, you'll be more comfortable. You'll be more relaxed. Then you won't feel so nervous, right? So,
Yeah.
在美国我常常想中文.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. around
Yeah,
you.
right. 如果我可以想中文，我可以说中文。Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't know how to, maybe how to express in
Yeah.
Chinese.
有时候
what
我
do you
不知道，
do?
这是我的功课。我需要
Yeah.
想一想，我需要看一看。You know, I have to look and find the answer and think about it. That's my homework. Yeah. If I don't know how to say something, then that's my homework. Right? So I
Yeah.
just told Clay that I use AI now to help me learn Chinese. So I have an AI robot, and I tell it, "Can you help me practice how to practice using 比较, or how to practice using 怎么样, or how to practice using anything?" I just tell it what I need to do, and it will teach me. So again, like I said, I told you, even I am using AI every chance I can to help me learn and help me with my business and help me in any way I can, my personal life. Yeah. So if you don't know how, Sahara, you have to find out. That's your homework. But
Yeah, and
if you practice in your mind first, then you can find all those answers. Right? If you don't practice in your mind, then when you start talking to someone, that's when you get nervous because you don't know what to say. You haven't figured it out. So now you get worried because you can't speak properly. But if you have time to practice in your mind, but when you're by yourself, then when you do have to talk to somebody in person, you have the words and they're comfortable already, so you can speak better. Okay?
Okay. And I want to know what's the proper time that maybe that per day that maybe we or I should spend on my English learning.
How much time?
Yes.
As much time as you possibly can. Yeah. I can't say 1 hour or 2 hours. No, I want you to make learning part of your life. So when you wake up in the morning, think in English a little bit. When you make breakfast, think in English a little bit. When you go to the store, think in English a little bit. When you drive to work, think in English a little bit. Make English part of your daily life. When you're in school, when you're a boy or a girl in school, then you study and you say, I'm going to study for 2 hours every night. But when you're an adult, we can't really do it that way, not usually. So that means we have to find another way to learn. And for me, learning as an adult is best when you try to make it part of your daily life. If you find ways to make it part of your daily life, then you will learn. Right? So if you're driving in the car, you can listen to music and that's good. Or you can also listen to an audiobook that can help you learn. That's time that you're using when you're driving to help you learn. When you're making breakfast in the morning, you can practice your English vocabulary or your English pronunciation or listen to an English podcast while you're cooking. That's learning while you're living, right? So make learning part of your living.
Yes. Yeah, I understand you. I got you. Thank you so much, teacher.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions, Sahara?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, your English is good. You're doing well. Just keep working on it. And come back and see us again sometime, okay? I'm going to let you go, okay, Sahara?
Bye,
Okay,
Sarah.
thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Take care.
I might have to.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I might have to head out too.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to say goodbye to Clay here. He's got to get going to
Bye,
work.
guys.
But I'm going to take care of you guys. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be right back, okay, guys?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, see you next
Bye.
time.
You're welcome. Take care, man. Yes, sir. I'll see you Wednesday. Yeah, and I would like to hang out.
Hi, Aladi Adnan, right? I don't know how to spell your name.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, so where are you from? Oh, Malaga.
Yeah, from Morocco. Morocco.
Morocco.
All right. Yeah.
I've never been there.
You have a nice night.
Opportunity to travel to Morocco.
Yeah, you are welcome to Morocco.
You know what? Let me fix the camera really quickly. Wait.
Yeah, it up.
Take your time.
Hey. All right, that's better. Okay, so I just have a few more minutes left, guys, to help you. So, Eladi, you were waiting first. Did you have a question for me?
Yeah, teacher. I have only one question for you.
Okay.
Honestly, I learned English for a while of time, but at this moment, I find that my language is blocked. I blocked. I gonna improve my English. I don't use any new words. I want to find a solution to improve my English.
Okay.
It's hard to me.
So, this is a common question. Many people have this where they feel like they're stuck and they're not learning anymore. So, that's called plateauing. In English, we call that plateauing. And here's what you need to do. If you're plateauing, everybody, plateauing means a flat area. So, plateauing means you feel like you're not growing, you're just flat. So, there are two things you need to do if you feel like you're not improving enough. One is you have to focus on your weaknesses, not on your strengths, right? So most people, when they learn, they focus on the things that they're very good at. So if you're learning a language and you're good at speaking, then that's the thing you focus on all the time is speaking. But maybe you're not good at reading or writing, but you don't spend any time on that. So you're not really improving because you keep working on things that you're already good at. So you need to focus all your effort on the things you're not good at, right? So think about your language, everyone. And there are 8 different areas of language: reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Okay, let me say those again. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So now that you have those 8 ideas, now you need to think about, how am I working on my reading? Do I have a plan to work on my reading every day? And is my reading good or bad? If my reading is good, then maybe I don't need to work on it as much. But if my reading is bad, I need to work on it more. Right? How am I working on my grammar? Do I have a book to work with grammar? Do I have a workbook? Do I use AI to help me? Right? Okay, good. So you need to think about those 8 different areas: writing, reading, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, thinking, pronunciation, all of those, and make a plan for them, and then focus on the ones that are hard for you, okay? Focus on the things that are difficult for you. And then the final tip I have is you need as many ways to learn as you possibly can. So you have a book, that's good. How many books do you have? Get as many books as you can get. Get as many apps as you can get. Get as many videos and live streams as you can get. You want apps and books and videos and live streams and teachers and friends and family and everything you can get to study. Okay, so those are my 3 tips. If you feel like you're not really growing and not really learning, then 1, you need to figure out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Focus on your weaknesses. 2, get as many things as you possibly can all the time. Get as many, apps and books and videos and, live streams and podcasts. Get as many things as you can. And then 3, consider the 8 areas of language: reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. And then think, how am I working on those things? Do I have a real plan to work on those things or not? Many people, they don't really have a plan. You have a book and that's it, and you just use the book and that's all. But no, you need to sit down and write down one piece of paper that says reading, and then write a plan for how am I going to work on my reading. Make a plan on that piece of paper. Or writing on a piece of paper, and then say, okay, how am I going to make a plan for my writing? What am I going to do to practice my writing every day? Okay, if you just have a book and you're hoping to learn from a book, that's not enough. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say, Eladi, is those three things. If you focus on those three things, then you'll do fine.
For a while of time, I was focusing on one thing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. If you keep focusing on one thing all the time, then eventually you feel like you're not learning anything anymore.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So you have to find all of your weaknesses and find all of these parts and make sure you're balanced. Okay?
Yes.
All right, my friend? Oh, did we lose you, Eladi? Oh, no, there he is. Okay. So, Eladi, I only have a few more minutes left. Let me get to Vic. Vic, how are you doing, and what can I do for you today?
I want to share with you that I'm writing the journal recently. From 22nd August to yesterday, I finished about 15 articles, small articles.
That's great.
I learned a lot from your advice, from your suggestion that at first I don't know how to use the right words to express my feelings or my opinion. But now I compare the clarifications and the expressions with my own. I realize the weakness of my writing, and I think I have got a bit improvement. Yeah, just like a small pest. Yeah, just like a pest crawling on the earth. I move forward later. Yeah, but I think it will take a long time.
It will, but the more you do writing, the more writing you do, the better you start to become at understanding how your writing affects your speaking, right? So when you speak, you don't have time to work on the words, right? So it's an act of improvisation. Right, speaking is an improvised act. Right, it's an improvisational act, usually. So that requires you to think about things very quickly. But writing gives you time to craft your words. Right, and the better you become as a writer at crafting your words, the better you become as a speaker at crafting your words. When I speak, I'm often thinking about how I would write it. When I speak, I'm often thinking about, if I wrote this down, what would it look like? This is something that I started doing when I was young, when I was about 18. I started teaching drums, and I would sometimes I would come home and I would think of a lesson that I should teach, like, oh, well, I want to teach this. I'm going to teach this idea. So I would sit and write it down first. I would just write it on some paper and try to imagine, how would I teach this idea? And I write it in a speaking dialogue format, right? So I just didn't write like, well, first you need to do this and this. No, I would talk about it like I'm really there talking to a person and explaining the idea. But doing that really let me sit down and see my words and helped me understand how to craft my words quickly. Yeah. So writing, and especially writing a diary, because writing a diary is about your life. So it helps you to understand how to express yourself about your life more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I learned from teacher Jules that I learned about 10 to 12 words every day. I put them together to make up a story myself.
Good.
Yeah, that is a lot, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And then my trick, Vic, I do that same thing with my students, but I tell them to make the story funny.
Yes.
Don't make a normal story. Make a weird story that's really funny, because your brain doesn't remember normal. Your brain wants to forget things that are too normal, but your brain remembers things that are weird. So if you have 10 vocabulary words and you make a story that uses those 10 vocabulary words, try to make it funny and weird, because it's much, much more likely that your brain will remember it.
Right. And I have another question. How can I improve my English reading? You know, I bought a novel by Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
Mm-hmm. Mark Twain, yes. No, there are lots of abbreviation words or expressions inside. I don't know what's the meaning. You know?
Yeah, so Mark Twain, reading, I love Mark Twain. He's one of my heroes. I love Mark Twain, but reading his books is very difficult, even for native speakers, because he uses language. The books he wrote are written a long time ago, and the language he uses is from that time period, and it's not formal. It's informal language. So it's informal English from another time period. That's difficult for native speakers. It's kind of like Shakespeare. Shakespeare is the same thing. Shakespeare is brilliant, but if you try to read it today, it doesn't seem like that's not English. That's not the way we speak today. You know, it's changed so much. So when you read Shakespeare or Mark Twain, you have to think about it a little differently. And yes, there will be many, many words that you have to look up that we don't use them anymore. We don't speak like that anymore, but it's just from that time period. Yeah, informalized language.
Yeah, so can you give me some advice about how to choose the right book to improve my English?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, well, number one, choose a book that's something you're interested in. The more interested you are in the topic, the more likely you're going to really read it and get something out of it, right? So interest is important. Then choose a book that's the right level for you. Okay, now I have two opinions on this. I think that you should read one book that's very easily in your level and one book that's a challenge. Okay, so one book is easily in your level. That means that on one page should only have about 5, maybe 7 or 8 new words on it. One page. If that book has 15 or 20 new words on one page, you're never going to finish that book because you'll be looking up new words all the time. It's too hard to keep pushing through because you're always looking up vocabulary words, right? So try to find a book that's at the level where about 5 to 7, maybe 10 words are new to you on each page. No more than that. Now, the next book, though, you can read another book that is much more difficult for you. But they're going to be two different things. A book that has 5 or 10 new words on one page, that's a book that you should learn from constantly. You'll read and you'll be learning constantly. The other books are what I call challenge books, which means I don't want to tell you that you shouldn't try to read difficult things. I think you should. But you should remember that, yeah, when I was a 10-year-old boy and I opened up Shakespeare and I tried to read it, I had no idea what I was reading. It was way above my level, but I tried still. And it was a good challenge for me. And I did learn some things from it. So that's why I said there are two different ways to look at reading. One is just to do within your understanding, like within your education level, right? Don't push yourself too much. But then the other side is to, get a book that's hard. And like Mark Twain would be a perfect example. So read Mark Twain, but read it slowly and understand that it's much more difficult. Yeah. And that's a book, in that case, books like Mark Twain or Shakespeare, those are books that I think you should have an English copy and a Chinese copy. Because those books, the language is so old that the translations might be important. And the other problem, though, is sometimes the Chinese translations are not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to translate language that we don't use anymore. So how do they do that? You know, so sometimes the Chinese copy is not that great. But why a Chinese copy? Because there are some books that the language that they use in that book is old, outdated language, and without translations, it's going to be really hard for you to understand what's happening. So books like Mark Twain, like Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, two great books, but those are difficult for even native speakers to understand because the old use of language, the outdated language that they used, and it's informal old language too, so it's very difficult to understand without some help.
Yeah, I know that. Reading the challenge book, reading the difficult book is a challenge, and also it can practice my logic to understand the meaning between the lines, and sometimes there's no need to look for.
That's right. Sometimes there is no meaning between the lines. That's right. Yeah. There's a famous book called The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Very famous book. It's a short, small book. It's only about 100 pages, I think. And it's not difficult to read at all. And in America, for many, many years in English class, we would read this book and the teacher would say, well, what do you think this means? And what do you think this means? And what do you think this means? But Ernest Hemingway, the guy who wrote the book, he came out many years later and he said, it means nothing. The man who's fishing, it's just a man who's fishing. The shark who catches the fish, it's just a shark who catches fish. There is no literal, figurative meaning that you need to find. So it's funny because sometimes in these English classes, they ask you these questions like, what does this mean? And what does this mean? And what do you think this is about? And sometimes it's not about anything. Sometimes it's just what it says. Yeah, sometimes we try too hard. Yeah. So, but Vic, there's a reason we call some books classics. There are many English books that we say this is a classic English book. This is one of the classics. If you type in English classic novels, there'll be a list of many, many books that are considered really good reading for you. Okay, send me a message and I'll give you a link to that. Okay?
Okay, thank you. I will send you a message privately.
So yeah, Song of the Beast said meaningless Hemingway. So here's the thing about being an artist or a writer. If you're a writer, you can't write, let's put it this way. Being an artist is about being prolific. The word prolific, it means you create a lot of that thing. You make a lot of that thing. So a prolific writer writes a lot. A prolific musician makes a lot of music. A prolific inventor invents a lot of, new things, right? So to be prolific means to make a lot of those things. So that means if you're a writer, then sometimes you're just writing. You're not trying to be genius. You're just trying to write. Every day you have to write. So The Old Man in the Sea, maybe it was just him writing and not trying to make it into some genius work. He was just practicing his writing. Right? So, in order to make one great book, you have to write 20 bad ones. In order to make one great song, you have to write 20 bad ones. In order to make one great invention, you have to invent 20 bad ones. That's called being prolific. So, in that case, sometimes novels and books and writing should not be always considered to be brilliant or genius. Sometimes it's just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. That's right. I appreciate your suggestion,
You're welcome.
Mr. Mark.
All right, well, Eladi and Vic, I need to go. It's about time for me to get some work done and do some other things, have some lunch. So it was nice to see both of you again. Thank you for coming on my stage.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it was my pleasure to talk with you again. Yeah. So I'll see you next time, Eladi, and I'll see you next time, Vic. Thanks for coming on, and take care. Okay, guys?
Thank you.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Let's see. Let me check my comments here. Stephen King is definitely a prolific writer. Definitely. Absolutely. And I guarantee you, he probably has 300 books that he's never even published that he just wrote just to write. I'm sure he has. He's an example of somebody who wakes up, and I'm certain he has a daily schedule of writing no matter what. He just writes. No matter what, he's going to write. And so for all the books he's published, I'm sure he probably has at least that many more unpublished. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you guys for watching. It's about time for me to take a break, but I'll be back. I may have a voice room later tonight. I definitely will have one tomorrow. I definitely will have a voice room tomorrow, and I'll have a live stream on Wednesday. Okay, so make sure you follow me. If you want to follow me, you can follow me here. Follow me. That's my link tree. If you go to my link tree, you can follow my website. You can follow my YouTube channel. You can follow my podcast. You can follow anything that I have on my link tree right there. Okay? Let me give it to you one more time right there. Okay, everybody. All right. You are welcome, Eladi. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for following. Thank you for participating. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you live in the world. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye.